Hello everyone, Bud here at Dependable Lawn Care. These are some of my spare parts. As you guys know, the whole clutch situation with the 52, that was just kind of the beginning of me realizing how important it is to have parts on hand. So I wanted to talk to you guys about having spare parts on hand. I kind of touched on this previous videos, and then of course you guys know about the whole trouble I just went through with the 52-inch Z3X with the clutch. Well, I ended up burning up a second clutch also. My best guess is that it was just a faulty clutch because there was really no reason for it to burn up. The new one, that is. But anyway, I cannot stress the importance enough, guys, to get familiar with your machine. It doesn't matter what brand it is, Ferris, John Deere, Wright, Skag, I mean, whatever it is, Exmark, Toro, you know, the list goes on and on. Whatever you have, get familiar with that machine or machines. Try to locate as many part numbers, model numbers, serial numbers, you know, all of that as much as you can. A really easy way to document that is just to take a picture. You know, we all have cell phones, so take pictures of every single number you can find. Go through your parts, like your starters, your clutches, your spindles, you know, pulleys, anything like that. You know, all the basic moving parts. Of course, belts and blades, that's kind of a given. But go through all of those basic parts that eventually wear out, and do your best to locate those parts and order them. You know, get them on hand, because what I'm finding out is it's not just, you know, I have Ferris mowers. But it's not just Ferris. Everybody I know, every brand, they're all having issues getting parts. And even if they can get parts, they can't get in to get their machine serviced because everybody's so far behind because they were short on parts. The last time I talked to my local dealer, their wait time on repairs was anywhere from a month to 2 months wait time. So anyway, these are some of the parts that I have, minus clutches, because I've now used both of the clutches that I had on hand, so I'm going to have to get another one coming. One of those is going to be warrantied out because Warner has a 1-year warranty on the clutch, and it was properly installed, all that, so it'll be warrantied out and I'll have it on hand again. I've got my maintenance log here, and this is what I do to kind of keep track of all the service on my mowers. So date, which machine, the hours, and then a description of what I did. So I'll just talk about the 52-inch, and this is all in May. Okay, this was all the month of May. So on the 52, I put on a new clutch and a new fuse and a new clutch bracket because that got bent up when the clutch seized up. A new deck belt tension pulley, which is what this is. This is actually the old one. My dealer actually had one of these in stock on the shelf, so they sold me the new one. I took this one, went to a place here in town that sells bearings, got new bearings for it, and went ahead and put the new bearings in it because this is the same tension pulley that goes on both of my Z3s. So now I have a backup for the next one that goes down. So that's that. I had to put in a new clutch plug, which is the plug coming off of the mower itself that plugs into the clutch. It got boogered up, and I was just waiting on the new one to come in. And again, guys, except for that tension pulley, all of these parts I had to locate myself. I had to find serial numbers, find part numbers, do the research, go directly to Warner on the clutch, go to Amazon on a lot of this other stuff, and I had to locate it myself. You know, nobody could help me, so I had to help myself. And then again, new clutch. The first one lasted 16 hours. The first new one, that is. Couldn't tell you what was wrong with it. It just 16 hours and then it locked up. So hoping that issue is solved. And then last but not least, a new idle pulley, which is not the tension pulley, but the idler pulley that's in the deck belt. Between the first and second spindle. So it wasn't completely shot, but you could wobble that pulley quite a bit because the bearing was going bad in it. So, and you know, I mean, that's the thing, guys. You know, these bearings, they don't last forever. So, you know, I don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to bash Ferris or Briggs or, you know, the machines or anything like that, because I'm not. You know, I expect things to wear out. This is a really, really rough area, and almost 900 hours on a machine, it's hard hours, you know. So anyway, so that's the 52. And then on the 61, I had to put a new starter on. And then I checked all the wiring and fuses, made notation of that. The starter has been an issue for a while, where I have to tap on the solenoid. Every time I go to start it, it doesn't want to engage. So put a new starter on, and I took the starter that I took off, so the original starter, and I took it to a place here in town that rebuilds starters and alternators, and had them rebuild that starter for me. It cost me 85 bucks, but they rebuild it with better parts than it originally comes with. Then I had to put new coils on the 61, and the deal with that was that we started it up one morning on a job, and we could tell that it was just running really weak, and we didn't know what was going on. Well, eventually by the middle of the day, I figured out that it was running on one cylinder. So I had a bad coil on, if you're facing the engine from the front of the mower, it would have been the right side. So had a bad coil. So I ordered coils on Amazon, got these in, and, or no, I'm sorry, I take that back. I actually got these through my dealer. You can get them on Amazon, but I was able to get them through my dealer. So I got a pair of coils, put those on. I got an extra pair to have on hand. What else on the 61? Okay, that's it on here. Let me show you what I've got going on now. Okay, so the deck's a bit messy. I did scrape it, but this is what I wanted to show you. I've got the belt disconnected, and I've got a blade on here just so you guys can see this better. But hear that? And you can see that. See the blade tip? That's not back and forth, that's up and down. It's got almost 1/4 of an inch of movement. Let me show you from the top side here if I can. So anyway, middle front spindle bearings are going bad. I actually noticed it last week when I was doing my maintenance, and I already had a spindle ordered through my dealer, but the Z3X52 and the Z3X61 have different spindles. The Z3X61 has a longer shaft on top where the pulley's at than the 52 does, and that's one of those parts that my dealer has not been able to get in yet. It's been on order for, I think, 3 months now at this point. And so I was able to locate it on Amazon, got it ordered, supposed to be here today to get that swapped out. And then I'm pretty sure these spindles are rebuildable. So I should be able to take this spindle, and find out what bearings it has in it. And I'm sure it has a top and a bottom bearing in it. And replace those bearings. As long as the spindle's in good shape, I'll get it cleaned up real good and make sure it's solid. And then get the new bearings in it, and then it'll be my spare after that. And actually the spindle wasn't bad. The one that I ordered was $75, so it wasn't terrible, but you know, still $75 I didn't want to spend. And I think this one, there's just a slight little bit of play in there. Like if you put the blade on, you really can't make the blade tip move, but I can kind of make noise when I pull on it, and it shouldn't be doing that. The one on the outside over here is not doing that. So, and somebody will ask, so I'll just tell you right now, I change my blades every week. We mow anywhere from 40 to 45 properties a week, and I couldn't tell you how many hours it is, probably roughly 15 to 20 hours of actual mowing each week. And I grease my spindles every time I change my blades. And I grease them until the grease comes out the weep hole right here. So I know that these have always been properly lubed. So it's not a lube issue. It's just, you know, wear and tear, guys. Things wear out, especially after, you know, 4 years of use and almost 900 hours. So all of that to say that May sucked. May was a rough month. Spent a lot of money in parts, a lot of money lost in downtime, scrambling around trying to find a loaner mower. Thankfully, the buddy of mine that I sold the John Deere to always lets me use it whenever I need it, and so that's been my backup. And I hate doing that. I really hate, you know, borrowing someone else's piece of equipment. Of course, I'm compensating for it, but still, given the issues that we've had here lately and realizing that, you know, these mowers are at the point where I'm going to be needing to do some more work and stuff on them to keep them going, which is fine. I mean, they'll still last another 1,000 hours, I'm sure. It's just that I can't necessarily depend on them without having a backup. And so I went and ordered 2 new mowers. They're identical to these, except they will both have the 37 horse Vanguard on them. And man, guys, the price has gone up. So I paid $10,000 each for these 2, and the new ones are going to be $12,000 each, and that's after the discount you get for buying more than one mower. So I believe that saved me like $800 on each mower, but it was still over 12 grand each. So those won't be here until August or September, is what they're telling me. So I've got to keep these bad boys going in the meantime. Hopefully June, July, August will be a lot better than May was, and we can keep things running. But yeah, I'll have 2 new mowers coming, and I intend to set them up exactly like these, except that I'm not planning on putting wheels on them, at least not right away. I'm going to keep these mowers as my primary mowers, and then when one of them goes down and needs something fixed, I'll pull a new one out to use. And I'm just going to run the stock tires, and probably the only thing I'll do to the new ones right away would be to put a chute block on, and then they'll be ready to roll. Like I said, I still plan on using these as primaries for the time being, and just using the new ones when I need them. They'll have the 5-year, 500-hour warranty, so I would really like to get 5 years out of that warranty rather than like I did with these and burn through my 500 hours in the first 2 years and it'd already be out of warranty. Of course, you know, you don't have much choice when you only have 2 machines, but these would still be under warranty if I hadn't. So anyway, guys, that's all for now. I just wanted to talk to you about spare parts, you know, how important it is to have those spare parts on hand and to be familiar with your machine. And guys, if you're not already, you need to learn how to work on some of this stuff yourself. And I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a mower mechanic. I don't have a background in mechanics. I'm just one of those guys that I like to figure out how things work, and I like to figure out how to fix things. And there's enough information out there, you know, between YouTube and Google, and, you know, you can get PDF manuals on almost every machine, every engine, you know, online. Usually they're free. There's no excuse not to learn how to work on your machine, at least for the basic stuff. And I get that sometimes we just don't have time. You know, that's another thing. You need to make time for maintenance and repairs, because a lot of these issues can be taken care of before they become a major issue. Like that spindle, you know, me just doing my normal deck cleaning, blade change, greasing the spindles every week was how I found out about that spindle going bad. If I hadn't found out that way, I might have found out the hard way after it tore something up. So, you know, stuff's very important, and you guys really need to get familiar with your machines and learn how to work on some of this stuff yourselves, because you're going to need to. I don't think the whole situation with parts and service is going to get much better anytime soon. And with the price of fuel right now, you know, the last thing we need to be doing is running around, you know, dropping machines off, picking machines up, you know, having them set there for a month. It just doesn't make sense from a business perspective. So anyways, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Get out there and make some money, and we'll catch you on the next one.